Kicked off, and the WNBA wasted no time giving us a treat. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, a matchup that always draws a crowd, and this one didn't disappoint.
A three, and look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark.
A triple-double, broken records, and a skill gap that's starting to look more like a canyon. Caitlin Clark didn't just show up, she made a statement.
Here's Clark firing, and hitting 20 points.
And from the jump, Caitlin wasn't backing down. She welcomed the contact and got the whistle.
Here's Clark working through some contact. Clark diving in, gets the whistle.
And after calmly knocking down the free throws, it was Angel Reese on the other end, getting to work.
Play with so much pace. It's where Caitlin Clark excelled a season ago.
Angel Reese dives in and finishes through the contact.
But her trash-talking heroics, yeah, those were quickly shut down.
Wants more of that from her, catching around that 15-foot area.
Clark connects! The first logo bomb of the season from Caitlin Clark.
Then Angel launches a three, but it's off. Caitlin answers with one of her own, and it's just short. Reese responds attacking the rim next, but gets stuffed.
Base barges in and gets denied by Boston.
Then Caitlin pushes the break, but her layup rolls off. So it's time to adjust, and Caitlin does so by sending some dimes.
Conditioning.
Maybe the broadcasters as well. Here's Howard, gets the whistle off a pretty dime from Clark.
But it was starting to become clear. Her Fever teammates weren't fully ready for those lasers yet.
On the offensive glass, but Howard comes away with it. Here is Clark. Clark feeding Boston, who can't finish. Lexi Hull comes in, grabs the rebound. She said, well, I know you guys love it. Oh, what a pass from Clark. But
luckily, her defense was enough to shut down Reese's drives. But to create real separation, her teammates needed to start finishing the plays she was setting up. And luckily for her, Lexi Hull got that message.
Hull, here's Clark in transition. Clark, oh, what a look. And Hull lays it in.
But with Reese starting to knock down threes,
Reese will fire the three and hit from downtown. Angel.
Caitlin knew she had to take it up another notch, and that's exactly what she did.
Hitting Boston. Boston fakes and lays it in. There's that two-player chemistry.
But Reese wasn't having it. She blatantly shoved Boston in the face, trying to break up the chemistry. Still, that didn't stop Caitlin from keeping the offense flowing.
Her passing and the way that makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range is good. Boston gives it back. Clark to Boston. Her jumper is good.
The chemistry between Caitlin and Boston was unmatched. It even felt like it gave Caitlin some wings.
Reese.
Reese is a very good passer.
Clark.
Some of those shots were a bit much this early on, and on the fast break, she was asking a little too much from her vets.
The fling ahead, Howard.
Still, it didn't take long before she gave the crowd exactly what they came to see.
Here's Clark, 4 seconds left. Clark fires. You bet. Clark drills the three to end the second.
The Fever entered the second half with a 13-point lead and plenty left in the tank, and they didn't waste any time putting it to use.
Here's Clark spinning, bouncing, what a find, and Howard lays it in on a delectable dime from Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin was really putting her full playmaking arsenal on display.
Earns, short on a three, Clark her sixth rebound. Here's Clark in transition. Nice find.
Another missed layup, but luckily, Aaliyah Boston was locked in.
Especially adjusted to a new team. Here's Boston. Fakes the jumper, rumbles inside, and drops it in.
While Angel was still battling to get the ball in the hoop.
Really well against the bigger Cardoso.
Reese spinning, couldn't pop it in. The O board, no. Another chance stripped away by Clark.
Caitlin was in full control, taking charge and stretching the lead.
Solid first game.
Clark looking to shake Vandersloot. Step back is good. Caitlin Clark.
It had been a fierce but fairly composed game until the third quarter. The Sky bricked a three, and Reese shoved Howard in the back, going for the rebound, but no whistle. So Caitlin tried to stop the break with a take foul, but Reese took that personal.
Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark walks away.
After a review, the refs determined that Caitlin shoved Angel after the foul, resulting in a controversial flagrant. After the game, both players brushed it off, calling it just a common foul. But let's be real, that pot had been simmering for a while. But that little exchange clearly lit a fire. CC came out of the gate swinging.
From Hull, Clark couldn't handle it. 6 to shoot. Here's Boston, will fire a three, and it's in. Clark gives it up, gets it back. Clark looking to take Williams, finds Boston inside for two. Here is Clark pushing pace, racing up the floor. What a time as Mitchell couldn't finish the lay.
She was up to 14, 7, and 7, and you could already feel it. Something special was brewing.
Just trying to impact winning the right way. I think over the last couple of years and having some experience losing, it made me want to win more, so just trying to impact winning.
And with her teammates running the floor in transition, it all started to come easier.
Closes in on a triple-double, 2 assists, 1 rebound away. Clark leading Mitchell for the lay, and the building is up for grabs. Clark gets it back from Boston. Now bounces to her. Boston drops it in.
That was her 10th assist, putting her just 1 rebound away from a triple-double in her Year 2 opener. A truly historic moment in the making. But before sealing the triple-double, she had more to show, from way beyond the arc.
Here's Clark firing and hitting. 20 points for Caitlin Clark.
And her vet, Wnba, had history to make of her own, breaking a scoring record and becoming 3rd on the WNBA's all-time scoring list.
She has tied Tina Thompson for 3rd on the all-time scoring list. And Wnba sits alone in 3rd place on the all-time WNBA scoring list.
And when Caitlin grabbed that final rebound, she sealed it.
Down. Here it is! A triple-double for Caitlin Clark. The 3rd of her career. And she starts 2025 with a triple-double.
And just one look at the final score, this tells you everything. The Sky didn't stand a chance. The Fever are looking like a powerhouse this season. And if this is how they're starting, the rest of the WNBA better be ready. Just a few games into the season, and Caitlin Clark is already the league's #1 target. Every team wants to stop her, no matter how. But even with the refs against her, Caitlin still finds a way to make it happen.
Clark hits it. She's got time. Cloud defending. Clark trying to create some airspace. Long three at the horn. Oh! Caitlin Clark rising from the ashes here in the 3rd quarter. And Indiana with an 8-point lead.
But from the jump, it wasn't about her. Caitlin came out ready to facilitate and get her team going.
Thievish starting off on Caitlin Clark. New York was pretty coy about how they would defend her. Boston, the roll, the catch, puts it in for 2.
And it wouldn't be long before she fired off another one of those full-court bullets.
Sabrina, short on the jumper.
Well, you want to make Sabrina dribble into her shots if possible.
Mitchell gets behind the secondary and puts it in.
And Jordan, that's why it's so important for Caitlin Clark.
But the moment she tried to attack the basket, you could feel it. The physicality ramped up instantly.
Into the vision of Caitlin Clark early.
Clark steps on the gas, goes right by Stewart, and picks up the foul.
Early on, the refs were with her and sent her to the line, but it wasn't consistent. So Caitlin adjusted, played it smart, and leaned into her dimes instead.
Players like Unescu and Caitlin Clark, the way that you defended your team. Slants Boston, galloping to the cup. The connection works again.
There's not a lot of space there.
She didn't get every call, but when she attacked the basket and the contact was too obvious to ignore.
They went through a really detailed defensive scout yesterday.
The whistle finally came.
Another and one opportunity as she goes window shopping.
went 2 for 2 at the line, but it was clear every layup came with a price. So she switched it up again.
With those right-handed layups.
I mean, they have 9 baskets, and I have them unofficially with 7 right-handed layups.
Clark found a hole in the defense.
And with the D pressing high, Caitlin matched that energy, finding Aaliyah Boston.
Talked about doing a lot of cardio, wanted to be fluent. And so far, Aaliyah Boston's been pulling.
But even when she tried to avoid the contact, the Liberty still found her.
So the Fever gained the 1-point advantage just under 40 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And that's going to be a foul.
Crazy enough, the whistle went against Caitlin, and not even 10 seconds later, they were physically blocking her from even getting open.
Off-ball, as you mentioned, fighting through some contact. That's going to be an off-ball foul, and that'll send Caitlin Clark to the free throw line.
But after that free throw, the Fever hit a tough drought. Double teams on Caitlin, wide open missed layups,
The baseline catch goes high.
and suddenly, they were down 14. Luckily, Caitlin could count on Aaliyah Boston to keep the game from slipping too far out of reach.
Clark over the top, Boston.
Pass is
Even when Caitlin couldn't get it to fall, Boston was right there, cleaning the glass.
score on.
Clark, no good. Boston right there to clean it up, and a timeout on the floor.
But the contact kept escalating. A 50-50 ball nearly took out Caitlin's knee in the process. It was getting rough out there.
Backside of Burke. Clark and Stewart come crashing to the floor, and that'll be New York ball.
So Caitlin eased off and let the Boston show roll on, feeding her in the post and letting the big work.
Goes over the top. Boston, the catch fading away, goes off the glass.
Really nice job of loading to the strong side and allowing them.
With the deficit shrinking, this tactic was clearly working, so Caitlin kept feeding Boston in the second half.
Other players, and talks about the supporting cast around Caitlin Clark this year, that she doesn't have to shoulder the whole load. Boston, the floater, popcorn's in. We've got a 2-point game.
That is the best action.
You heard that right. The lead was gone, and moments later, Caitlin found Mitchell for the bucket that tied it all up.
How defenses have to stretch so far down the court. Here's Mitchell, sets her feet. Mitchell rains in the three, and we've got a tie ball game.
The Fever had momentum on their side, and Caitlin was ready to take charge by herself.
Batted a lot, bodies on the floor. Clark 1-on-3, trying to split the defense. Goes into traffic and reverses it off the glass. Stewart driving it.
But once again, no call. So on the very next possession, Caitlin took it to another level and made sure the refs couldn't ignore her anymore.
Clark, step back three. Oh, she hit it and draws the foul. Welcome back, Caitlin Clark.
Nothing energizes me more too, but nothing frustrates me more than Brianna Stewart.
Intercept goes right by Stewart, but blocked. Big time collision, and Clark is still down on the floor.
That was her second hard hit on Caitlin this game, and it felt like Brianna was on a different mission tonight. But that didn't stop Caitlin from pulling off some magic.
Bending, Clark trying to create some airspace. Long three at the horn. Oh! Caitlin Clark rising from the ashes here in the third quarter, and Indiana with an 8-point lead.
That's one way to end the third. Buzzer beater and an 8-point lead for the Fever, and Caitlin kept the momentum rolling into the fourth, first finding Boston once again to keep the pressure on.
Rolled Clark a little bit deeper into the paint on that.
It's Boston, the pump fake. Stewart goes crashing down, no whistle. Boston fighting for the ball.
And not long after, it was her turn to get going.
It's over dribble. Slices through the defense and a finish with the right.
But the Liberty clawed their way back into it, and the Fever tied it up again when Boston got hacked in the paint and earned a trip to the line. With 30 seconds left, the game was in the Fever's hands. Of course, they gave it to Cece. She attacked the basket, drew the defense, and kicked it to Bonner.
Dumps it off. Bonner blocked at the top.
Bonner's shot was blocked, and off the inbound, Caitlin found Mitchell, but she missed two.
Puts it up. Mitchell, no good. Hits the rim. New York will have a chance. They call timeout.
With 8 seconds left, the Liberty had their shot, and Caitlin's instructions were clear. No fouls.
Box is out.
Cloud the catch back to UNESCO. Sabrina turns the corner. Sabrina the bump. and draws the foul with 2.9 remaining.
At first, it looked like a careless foul by Lexi Hull, but the replay told a different story. It was clear who initiated the contact. Still, the refs bought it, and the Liberty were gifted a trip to the line. They knocked down both free throws. And on the other end, Caitlin had just 4 seconds to change the outcome.
Screening action down low. Clark has to get open. 1 second left. Clark doesn't get the shot off. Cloud locks her up.
Would you believe it? Same kind of contact initiation, but this time, no call. The refs let it go. Game over.
He's unable to get a shot attempt up.
In a moment that mattered most, you'd expect the officiating to be equal, but tonight, the Liberty got a nudge in the back, while Caitlin caught an elbow. Not literally, but you get the picture. Caitlin Clark versus the Atlanta Dream, a battle to the very end, and let's just say she didn't come out unscathed.
And the shot clock. There's a lot of bumping and chippiness at half court between Rhyne Howard and Caitlin Clark. And last game, the shot clock, Maya Caldwell had to corral it back in. Another offensive foul against Brittany Griner.
Luckily, it didn't start out that way. With Rhyne Howard guarding her, Caitlin made sure to set the tone early, getting the first bucket on the board.
In the paint, Atlanta coming off of back-to-back games, scoring 90-plus points, and Caitlin Clark.
But that didn't stop Howard. She came right back with a bucket of her own.
Veteran in this league, she knows how to play around the rim. Rhyne Howard.
And it didn't take long for Howard to get in favor with the refs.
So she's used to it, I would say.
Even with that, she switched gears and put her team to work.
What kind of responsibility do you know that you have as you're shaping the culture that we're seeing here in today's game?
I mean, honestly.
But her team wasn't on the same flow just yet.
Clark got the switch with Bree Jones on her, sends it to the corner. Sophie Cunningham comes in and out three.
But on defense, Howard was getting a little too handsy, and it wasn't just one possession. It happened back to back.
Difference between the game and the shot clock. There's a lot of bumping and chippiness at half court between Rhyne Howard and Caitlin Clark.
It was clear Caitlin was getting fed up, and Howard, she took the challenge head on, but so did Caitlin.
Caitlin gets it back, tries to send it over. Cunningham gets it to go.
Caitlin was locked in, ready to take control and push the Fever back into the lead.
Caitlin Clark too handsy. Caitlin, we know very well she likes to let it fly from the left. Pulls up, baseline, good to go.
She does like that spot, but on the other end, Howard was answering right back.
They got 4 on the shot clock. Howard pulls up, triple, good. When you get Rhyne Howard mad, this is what...
It was turning into a classic star-for-star duel. First Caitlin.
Space, couldn't get the bucket. Here comes Caitlin Clark. It's how Caitlin...
Then Howard.
Let me give you some production. Right now, Indiana has the advantage for bench points, 15-2 as Rhyne Howard.
Then Caitlin again with another dime.
Game of the season was an overtime one where she dropped 36 points.
It was a fair battle until Brittany Griner stepped in. That's when things started to get physical and dirty.
On the shot clock, Maya Caldwell had to corral it back in. Another offensive foul against Brittany Griner. That will be her 5th.
An intentional elbow the moment she saw Caitlin. Just wild, but it didn't stop Caitlin from turning up the pressure.
Clark found a lane and she'll take it.
And she was ready to take on even more. But once again, the Dream responded with physical play, trying to wear her down. At this point, it was almost comical how much they were targeting her. And yet, Caitlin still got her bucket.
On the triple. Rhyne Howard, Caitlin Clark finding a way to miss. Excellent.
Unfortunately, her team wasn't on the same page, committing sloppy fouls that gave the Dream extra chances.
Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, and Aaliyah Boston all just frustrated in this game with their shots.
It even had some fans celebrating a little too early. But all that extra contact, Caitlin saw it as an opportunity, and she took full advantage.
Back. Fever can take the lead with a 3 or tie. And Caitlin Clark draws the foul. Ray is a little bit taken back by that.
She knocked down 2 of 3 at the line. But the Dream answered right back, getting a call on the other end and taking the lead again, with just 3 minutes to go.
5 from 3 in this game. And draws the foul. Caitlin Clark now with...
Luckily, it didn't take long for Kelsey Mitchell to come through in the clutch.
Lexi Hall had 5 of their own. Big stop for Atlanta here. Kelsey lines it up. Why not?
And just as quickly, Howard got handsy again. The Dream racked up 21 fouls, and everyone who guarded Caitlin was in deep foul trouble. With 40 seconds left and a 1-point lead, Caitlin made the smart play, dumping it to Boston and letting her go to work.
In this game, stops on the dime, looking to pull up, finds Aaliyah Boston, who gets the bucket to go, still.
The Dream tried to answer quickly, but their night ended the same way it started.
Another, big foul going against Atlanta. Rhyne Howard pushes off Sophie Cunningham.
Even with just 7 seconds left, the Dream were still grabbing.
Floor.
But it wasn't enough to stop the Fever. Final score, 81-76. Surprisingly, the Fever ended with 4 more fouls, despite all the contact Caitlin took. If this is the tone for the season, staying healthy won't be easy. Let's just hope she can hold up, because the league needs her. After 20 days sidelined by injury, Caitlin Clark returned and picked the perfect target, revenge against the undefeated New York Liberty. And just like that, it looked like she never left.
Clark, another long three. She's back.
This might have been Caitlin Clark's best performance yet. NBA range threes, broken records, and a level of brilliance the WNBA's never seen before. And the first time she brought it up the court, she wasted no time, dropping a perfect dime that set the tone for the night.
For her last 2. Get it inside to Mitchell. Those two have such a great connection, especially when Kelsey...
The connection was instant, and that same chemistry showed up again when she found Aaliyah Boston in the post.
Great rebounding team this season.
Same in transition. Boston was already on the move. She knew exactly what was coming.
This is one thing you get with Clark is great pace and great passes. Found Boston perfectly.
A dime straight out of a quarterback's playbook that made 3 assists with 3 minutes left in the first. But Caitlin hadn't even scored yet, until she changed that in style.
Clark last played for Indiana against New York, and now she takes it in off glass and has a chance for a 3-point play.
She put a top-tier defender on skates and finished with the N1. Now that's CC magic. And well, with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the first, that magic would do something that would change not only this game, but WNBA history.
Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got
A deep pull-up, and it didn't stop there. It sparked something unstoppable.
2 players with incredible up.
The commentator was speechless after that one, back to back, and this one even deeper than the last. But wait, it didn't even stop it there.
Clark, another long three. She's back.
3 threes in under a minute to close the quarter, and 2 of them were from over 30 feet. That's at least 6 feet beyond the NBA line. That's not just deep, that's Curry range. And just so you don't forget, she had been out for 20 days before this. No warm-up, no easing in, just straight fire. And with the Liberty daring to leave her open to start the second, it was a no-brainer. The streak wasn't done yet.
Start second in a row. Clark stays ready.
Even her practice shot after the foul didn't touch the rim. That's how locked in she was, sitting on 4 threes and 17 points while the rest of her team hadn't made a single field goal. Luckily, she was more than ready to carry the load.
Traffic. And then steps back with the 3 over Reese Stewart.
This isn't a video game. Caitlin Clark just knocked down 5 straight threes in the first half, including 3 bombs in just 38 seconds. And with Lexi Hull catching fire too,
Left open momentarily, and she nailed it.
the Fever were suddenly chasing a new franchise record for made threes. But Liberty's number 5, Natasha Cloud, wasn't having it. She pulled out the dirty playbook to knock Caitlin out of her rhythm.
Now, the whistle is...
Unfortunately, this kind of physical targeting has become a theme in the WNBA. But luckily, not even that could stop Caitlin tonight.
Sharon. Clark trying to answer, and indeed she does.
And with all that shooting, you might forget, she's an elite passer too.
Oh, behind the back action. Oh, from the corner.
But just when you thought the pass was the highlight, she outdid herself again, drilling yet another three to close the half.
Caitlin Clark. Feeling the three.
This was hands down the best first half of her young WNBA career, single-handedly keeping the Fever in the game, shooting a ridiculous 66% from deep, and making sure the Liberty felt every bit of her presence. But there was one problem the Fever just couldn't shake: missing open layups.
Howard gets it to Clark. Another perfect pass to Hall.
Caitlin could have had a double-double by halftime, but her teammates kept fumbling the easiest shots. Luckily, Caitlin dug into her bag and started showing out on defense too.
Taken away by Clark. It's off of Stewart, so Indiana basketball.
Luckily, halfway through the third, the engine finally